Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Good morning, Rebelli. I just want to thank you for making the Whirlwind 5-city tour in 5 days. I know that by the time you got to Lakewood, you were quite tired. We still took the time to take photos, whatever we wanted, before and after the shir. I also appreciate that the shir was at 5:30, because it didn't disturb his learning. I just want to point out another reason why Lakewood didn't laugh as much with Biden. Although the point of the tour was to recruit as many new guys as possible, the fact still is that according to our estimation, at least 90% of the Lakewood crowd were current shir participants. Therefore, we already watched your first 4 dapim of Gittin, so Trump and Biden weren't new to us anymore. It's not because we are Lakewood. We definitely aren't the Lakewood of 1972 that you knew. In fact, most of us, well, I guess he's right. The only time I knew Lakewood was in 72. In fact, most of us are actually New York transplants. Please see attached picture of me and my 2 workmates, as well as a picture of Rebelli looking for a replacement Gemara. By the way, for the closet guys, do you offer Gemaras without the MDY logo? Anyways, it was very impressive that as tired as you were, you still made a detour to check in on Peretz, Chaim, and the merch before leaving the hall. Have a nice day. Moshe from Lakewood. I was thinking about it this morning. It's very possible I was working on only 1 hour of sleep that day, and the problem was me. I didn't have enough energy. I didn't come with the right energy like I had in the other places maybe. That's the problem. Here's a picture of Reb Peretz Chaim Levin trying to sell Gemaras and Yaakov Ayal selling merch. You don't really see Yaakov Ayal, but here's the merch table. Gevaldik. And one more only from Yaakov Franklin to Rebelli. Fun is not Sheloi Lishma. That is the Ikke Mitzvah of Torah. See the Akdoma Tigli Tal and Rav Avram Minahar, because Mitzvahs Lahenis Nitnu. Also, only one who makes it fun has the right to darshan, like you, Rebelli. And he showed me. He sent the Mara Makam for that. If you have fun, you're able to darshan. Okay, Givald. The partners of the Koilo of the month, anonymous from Lakewood, talking about Lakewood. He was there, and he gave us a 20-pound box of sandwiches just for me and Tomer. What? Gary took, but we left. We had 100 sandwiches. He thought that we want to eat 100 sandwiches. He's a very, very generous Yid. The Masech is sponsored by Moshe Banda to thank Hashem that I am able to thank Him for everything that I have. Parnas HaChodesh Lidin Nishma Bas Yosef. Parnas HaChodesh Lidin Nishma Zechrya Ben Moshe. Parnas Hayoim brain intact should be zoich to nachas kedusha and tremendous success in all my endeavors. Parnas Hayoim l'zchus Refuah Shleima for Shoshana Malka bas Dubruh as a zechus for her family. And by the one and only Ezra Abrahams, all the way from Australia, Lekvod Bini Ya'akov, who's been with us from Daf Beis, Al נישואיו im Sheyna Grinberg, היום, בשעה, טובה, ומוצלחת, מסוטה. He's here today? Oh, wow. I'm not going to throw Shabsai Cohen under the bus. He wasn't here the day before. But okay, no. So Mazel Tov Shabsai Cohen, Mazel Tov to you. Who? Lauren Spiegelman, Mazel Tov to you on the engagement of your daughter. Everybody comes through the simchas. The art of the month for complete refuah for Chaim Tzvi Ben Leah Rabbi Isai. Here we go. So yesterday we were dealing with the sugya of Ma'amad Shloshtam. 2 Talmidei Chachamim came over to me after the shir and said, "Listen, all these years we thought Ma'amad Shloshtam was in front of 3 people. Like you see, you're allowed to say Lashon Hara in front of Ma'amad Shloshtam. You're not allowed. The Chavetz Chaim goes." There's a million different Tanaim. But the idea of Ma'amad Shloshim in front of 3 people, but over here, Ma'amad Shloshim is a little different. It's in front of the people that are part of this situation. So Ma'amad Shloshim by a milva would be, you have Ruvain, Shimon, Levi. Ruvain is the malva, Shimon is the loiva, the lender and the borrower, and the third person, Levi, is the makabel. Rav said that if you Ruvain the Malva says in front of the other 2 people, I want the money that you owe me. Shimon, you owe me money. I want it to go directly to Levi. So Levi acquires the money on the spot without Levi or Shimon doing any sort of chalipin and sudur or anything like that. It goes to them. And the question Rabbi wants to know is why? How does it work? So one pshat we said was that when a person borrows money, he agrees to pay it back to whoever it is. And the Gemara said, but what about kids that weren't born yet? Fine. So Rav Ashi says, Bahi Anah, because now he gets to go with a new lender. Shimon has a new lender, Levi, because Reuben is out of the picture. So with that Anah, he agrees to give it over to Levi. And the Gemara says, but what about if he doesn't gain anything by that? It's a Bar Eliyashiv, a tough guy. You can't say that if he's a tough lender, the guy all the way to the left, and he wants his money immediately, and he doesn't gain anything, Shimon doesn't gain anything by that, then this whole thing doesn't work. But if he does gain a little bit, so he has Anah, so it doesn't work. You can't start differentiating between the third guy. So now we're in a whole new teretz. Ella Omar Mar Zutra. Again, how does this Ma'amat Shloshtan work? If there was no transaction, there was no Maisa, there was no Kinyan, nothing. How could it work just by Reuven saying words? I want my money to go to Levi. How does it work? Says the Gemara, Ella Omar Mar Zutra. Hanit Lasmili Shavinu Rabbanon Ki Hilchas B'Loi Tama. This is like halacha l'Moshe Messinai without a reason. Now, of course, there's a very good reason. Each one has a good reason. It just means that it doesn't work in the halachas of kinyan. Typically, a kinyan works that you have to lift something, you have to move something, you have to take action, you have to do a chazaka, you have to change a lock, something. Over here, without anything, it works. Why? Kacha. Because we don't ask questions. That's how it works. I don't know if this is, I have to ask my daughter if these are the new rules of chinuch, the new tools that they invented on YouTube. But when I was looking into it back in the day, Rabbi Yaakov was the big authority in chinuch, and he said that a lot of times in chinuch also, you have to just tell a kid, he says, the kids don't like to ask, but why? Because I don't have to tell you the reason. The kid has to know to listen to his parents even without a reason. Lahavdil, with the Rebbeinu Shalom also, like, there are things we don't understand exactly. We do it, because that's the halacha. Fine. There was, real quickly, we don't have time for long stories. I'm going to say this very, very quickly. There's a guy that came to Rav, and he said to the Rav, I don't understand the logic behind a lot of the halachas in the Torah. So the Rav says, okay, let me tell you a case, and you'll tell me what the halach is. He says there was a person, two people, they were walking in the desert. One guy had 2 loaves of bread, one guy had 3 loaves of bread. Comes the third guy. I'm saying this quick, so you got to pay attention here. Third guy comes along and says, I want to be a partner in these loaves of bread, and in return, I'm giving you 5 golden coins. So they said, okay. So now they split the bread evenly. So the guy with the 3 breads, he felt that he deserves 3 coins. And the other guy should get 2 coins, because he had 3 breads, the other guy had 2 breads. So he should get his share is 3 coins, the other guy has 2 coins. The guy with the 2 breads, he felt that he should get 2.5 coins. He should split it down the middle. So they went to the Rav. And the Rav said that the guy with the 3 bread should get 4 coins, and the guy with the 2 bread should get 1 coin. So he asked the questioner, he says, what's the pshat? Tell me pshat. He says, I have no clue. He says, it's very simple. If you take every bread and divide it in 3 pieces, so each person ended up eating 5 pieces, right? Because you have 5 breads times 3 pieces is 15. And you divide 15 by 3, each person ate 5 slices. So now, the guy that had 2 breads, how many slices did he have? A total of 6 slices. He ate 5 slices, he gave 1 slice to the other guy, he deserves 1 coin. The guy that had 3 breads, he ate 5 slices, but he had a total of 9. So he gave his friend, the other guy, 4 slices. So he deserves 4 coins. This guy gets 4, this guy gets 1. Fine. The bottom line is, he tells the guy, you see, you couldn't even understand the simple psak of a Rav. How do you expect to understand Torah and deep things? Okay. So sometimes we don't understand. That's the bottom line. Sometimes we don't understand. What's the reason? I don't know. B'loi taima. Well, Taisa says on each thing there's a reason. For instance, the Gemara says, Chadaha, this concept of Maimet Shlashtan is one of the three things that Rabbanan said, let's do it without you understanding it completely. Taisus explains, because Chacham wanted to do away with these kinyanim. Every single time you have to do a kinyan. They said, you know what? You just say it and it works. V'yadach. There's another thing that we don't understand completely. A person writes all his belongings to his wife. So she became a Petropos, she became the guardian of all the nechasim. So what happened there? Because typically a person gives Yerusha to his sons. All of a sudden he said, I'm doing away with Yerusha, my sons don't get anything and everything goes to my wife. What he must have meant is, I want my sons to respect my wife and I want her to be in charge. If you look around, I know a lot of people that a lot of their nechasim, if you're a doctor, a surgeon, people that are liable to lawsuits, they give their wife all the nechasim. Everything in their life, it's under their name, so they can't be sued, etc. There's something like that. Maybe that's what happened over here. They have a lot of loans, so I don't have anything. Come after me, I have zero. My wife has everything. Fine. So that's Chachamim, and then Rashi sticks in. There's a concept of hefker, bez and hefker. We understand that that's what the husband wanted. So even though he said differently, we're gonna, at worst, it's gonna be a hefker, bez and hefker. We're gonna take it away from the wife and give it to the kids. And the third thing, Domar Rav Chanina, Hamasi Ishel Chananya. You're right. Domar Rav Chananya, Hamasi Ishel V'noi Godol B'bayis Knoi. Very interesting halacha. That if a person builds a house, you hear Reb Ezra? I don't know if you did this for your son. You build a house. I mean, in those days, a house, who knows? Can remain in a house, it's like a 4 amma by, like a little 8x8 hut, a house. Okay. He built his kid, we're imagining like a mansion, a 5,000 square foot. No, it wasn't like that with plumbing and all. No. A little house. If it's his oldest son, is this your oldest son? It's not your oldest son, so it doesn't apply anyway. If it's your oldest son and it's his first marriage, his wife's first marriage, and you have nothing in that house, you took everything out of the house, and then you said, okay, let's do a chasan in this house. So you basically gave the house to your son. Even without saying it, it becomes his house. You showed him you want him to have it. It's only in the oldest son. Now, I don't understand all these halachas. I don't know why it is like that. That's how it is. That's one of the three things that Chacham said, it is what it is. It's like a halacha l'meish Sinai. You don't ask any questions. Great. Zok the Gemara, Omer Rav l'Ravacha Bardula, Omer le Rav Shkoyach. I don't want anybody to look at the art scroll chart and start getting all worried that there's some big sugya. A lot of times art scroll does. It's very, very easy sugya. Very easy, and it's not even on this. I'm trying to prevent a scare now, so I made everybody scared already. Baruch Hashem. Omer le Rav l'Ravacha Bardula. Oh, hold on. This is the Maimet Shlashtan business. In case you don't know, it should go back like this way, and it goes this way. Great. Okay. Now, this is saffron. Kavod Amerika. I have a little bit of saffron by you. You owe me saffron. Now you're talking about Rav Godladar in Bavel, right? He says, you owe me a little bit of saffron. I want you to give it to the third guy. And I'm saying it right in front of him. Kitzer, we have a Mamet Shloshtam situation here. Rav says, you, middle guy, you owe me a bunch of this saffron. Now, I want you to give it to Levi. And I'm saying this in front of Levi because I don't want to take it back. Miklal says the Gemara, the boy Hadarbe, Matzi Hadarbe. The reason why Rav repeated himself and said, hey, had he not repeated himself, it would have been a Mamet Shloshtan anyways. And a Mamet Shloshtan makes it a good kinyan. It's at the end of the day, end the story. So why did Rav say, and because I don't want to take it back. It was mashma because he said those extra words to put himself in a pickle, so to speak, and he shouldn't be able to give it back. but not because of the Ma'amad Shloshna. Hachika Amar. No, that's not the pshat. Now you have to understand, Rav didn't just do things. Everything Rav says in the Gemara, you see throughout Shas, very concise. He doesn't repeat himself ever. He never spoke divrei chulin. He's trying to teach a lesson to his Talmidim. Here, there's a concept called Ma'amad Shloshtan, and I'm repeating. So he almost undoes the concept of Ma'amad Shloshtan by saying, the boy hadarbe lematzi hadrana. Fine. Says Gemara, no, that's not what happened. It is what happened, but you didn't understand. Because it's a Ma'amad Shloshtan, you should know I can't take it back. He didn't repeat the words not to take it back. He explained what he was doing. I'm doing it in a Ma'amad Shloshtan, so now it becomes Levi's, and that's it. Says Gemara, Marav Chodazimna, but Rav doesn't repeat himself. Why did he have to teach this halacha again? Rav Huna said in the name of Rav that it works with Alva also. B'ma'amad Shloshtan Kana, extend the story. Talking about a piece of real estate, something valuable. But a small little gift like this saffron, he shouldn't have to say it in front of him. He shouldn't have to do a Ma'amad Shloshtan, even without a Ma'amad Shloshtan. Sure. Why do you need a Ma'amad Shloshtan? Because I'm scared. I'm concerned the guy's going to take back the real estate deal. I'm concerned he's going to take back his car. No, Ma'amad Shloshtan. But a little bit of a spice of saffron, nothing. Now, I just want to point out that today saffron is the most expensive spice. And today, I looked it up this morning, it costs $10,000 a kilo. And sometimes throughout history, it was worth 3 times the amount of gold. But obviously in those days, it was nothing. Okay? Here, saffron comes from this flower right over here. You just pull out those guys, I don't know. It's very expensive. Okay. Says the Gemara. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, whatever it is. Maybe it's a different type of thing. Huh? Because it says over here, matana moetas. It's matana moetas. It has no value. Even on a very, if it was a $10,000 gift, then it would be a problem. It's not a matana moetas. No? So this is cool. It's our scroll. I know, okay, maybe it's something else. There's different types of saffron. Yes, Rabbi Schoenberg will let you know. Coming up in the next, what is it called? Or Merkaz. That's right. Or Merkaz. In a few weeks, you'll have a whole thing about it. Usually he's in advance though. Says Gemara, Maisa. There were a bunch of gardeners that they rented a field from somebody and they produced tomatoes, and they went and they sold the tomatoes. Then they came up that, wait a minute, one guy had 5 extra monies in his pocket. So they decided, you have a little extra money, it's not fair. Give it over to the owner of the land. You know he's a nice guy. He's very accommodating. Let's give him the 5. They did it in front of the owner of the land, which would be at least a Ma'amad Shloshtan. And he did something like this. Chalipin, Kinyan Sudar, the same exact thing. You do it at a wedding. Over here they have an official one. I lift this, I take your handkerchief, and I go like this, and the Kinyan is Chal. So there's 2 things going on. First they did a Ma'amad Shloshtan, then they did a Kinyan Chalipin. Now, Rabbi Isai, how could somebody get out of a Ma'amad Shloshtan, which is strengthened by a Kinyan Chalipin, and all Ma'amad Shloshans? How could you get out of it? Is there a way to get out of it once you did it? The answer is yes. There's a little trick. And that is, if it didn't even start, if it was a mistake. Says the Gemara, this farmer, he goes out and he starts calculating. This here, the gas and the tolls and the this, and finally I'm done. You know what? I didn't get any extra money. Mistake. Also, he came to Rav Nachman, he says, but I promised the owner of the field 5. I don't really owe him the 5. I thought I owe him 5. My friends also agree with me now. After I showed them all the receipts and everything, it comes out I don't owe him anything. What could I do for you? First of all, there's a ma'amat shlashtan. Second of all, you did king chalipin. So it seems like Rav Nachman didn't understand the whole story here. He just wanted to retract. He didn't say, I don't want to give. He said, I don't owe you. I never owed you. Says Rav Nachman, that's the story. He never owed it to begin with. Then the whole thing is a mistake. So it's a yisod, halacha l'maisa, that if you do a kinyan by mistake, you thought that you owe somebody money and you're mocking it to him, or whatever the kinyan is, any kinyan that's a mistake, I'm assuming, you didn't realize that what you're selling is a valuable painting and it was, kinyan by mistake. I'm not paskening, that's what it says here. Any kind of kinyan that you make, and there's a mistake behind it, you wouldn't have done it had you known XYZ. Chayzer, you take it back.
No, mistake.
Yeah, a mistake. You mean not a idea. I hear. Not knowing that you owe somebody something, and not knowing that this is worth $10 million. I hear. Fine. Yeah, I don't know. The painting is a different story. Fine. Itmar. So we have a machlokes here. I need you to take this 100 and give it to so-and-so. Now, based on what we learned yesterday, that if I give a get shichur to my friend, I say, bring this please to the Eved. What's the halacha? So we had a machlokes, even according to a mayor that says that it's a chayv, it's a negative for the slave, but let's say it was a positive. Then everybody agrees that once I say, take this get, shichur to my slave, everybody agrees that you're koined on the spot. You could acquire it for the slave. In other words, hoylech kischi. Okay, that's a new concept we're talking about today. Hoylech kischi. When I tell you, bring this over to so-and-so, the slave, it's like I'm telling you, be koined for him. Be his mikabel. Okay. Now, everybody agrees to that. And everybody also agrees that if I say, give this gift to so-and-so, that hoylech lav kischi. Okay, that's what we're going to come at the end of the sugya. So again, when it's something I owe, I owe him, by everybody will say owe. So everybody agrees that hoylech kischi. And when it comes to a matana, hoylech lav kischi. Okay. Says the Gemara, I owe him 100. So now, says Rav, everybody agrees to this. You're chayev b'achrayus. In other words, just because you gave over the money to a messenger doesn't mean that you're done. What happens if the messenger messes up by mistake? They rob him, he has an oinus. What, you don't have to pay the guy you owe the money? You owe a guy $1 million, you give it to the guy here, you give it to the Uber driver. Here, take the suitcase, bring it to the guy. And then the Uber driver is held up. So you don't owe the $1 million because you put it in an Uber? Of course you owe it. But at the same time, says Rav, once you put in the Uber, you can't take it back. You can't call up the Uber guy and say, hey, bring it back to me. So we're dancing on two chasanas here. On the one hand, he's kind of for... The Uber guy's a shliach, yeah.
I don't understand. Why are you chayav?
Because the shliach had oinus. The shliach had oinus. It's not the shliach's problem. He was held up at gunpoint. Hear what's going on? He's a shoy machinam. He's held up. The oinus is not chayiv. But the mishaleach, the borrower cannot call it back. And the borrower is still chayiv in full responsibility of what goes on here. Shmuel says, no, that doesn't make sense. If the sender, the borrower, has to pay back, has to pay another payment, if the Uber driver is held up at gunpoint, in Bolachs or Chayzer, that gives him the right to take it back, then that means he never got it. Okay, machlokes. Perhaps this is machlokes. The marsavar hoylech kischi dami. So this is basically, we're going to till the end of the sugya today, this is what we're dealing with. Hoylech kischi. When I say the word, take this Mr. Uberman to that guy, could the Uber guy be zeichet for that guy? Okay? So when it comes to chayiv, we say everybody holds hoylech kischi. But that's, the Gemara is saying maybe it's machlokes. Umar sovar hoylech lav kischi dami. And the other man, the Amar says, no, you weren't zeicha. Shmuel says, no, you weren't zeicha for it. Loi de kulam hoylech kischi dami. Everybody's going to agree that hoylech kischi. And that's what we're going to say at the end. L'maisa, everybody holds hoylech kischi. You even see the hay over here, the Shoshana passings like that. So what is the machlokes? Mar sovar lo yamrina migui. You don't say, since the mishaleach, the guy that owes the money, is chayv and achrayos, so that's why you can take it back. Could you say such a thing, right? Shmuel svara. Shmuel says, if I'm chayv and achrayos, then it's mine. It's the mishaleach. And Rav says, no, you don't say such a svara. Mar sovar amrina migui. Fine. So that's another way to explain. So the Gemara Tanya say the Rav. So we have a brisa like Rav that the guy cannot take it back. The sender, the mishaleach, the guy that owes the money, he can't take it back once he gave it to the shleach. And the brisa just says the same thing in different lashonos. Please give this 100 to the guy I owe money, or he said a different lashon. I don't owe him, but it's collateral, it's a deposit, give it back to him. The bottom line is, the guy that owes it is responsible. You cannot take it back. Says Gemara, but by pikada in lemele ein ritzoynoi shebigdoynoi biyad acher. But wait a minute. If it's something that is owned, like that esrog box we had yesterday, the guy can say, wait a minute, of course I can take it back. You know why? Because the guy, let's say I lent you my Ferrari, yeah? Then I tell you, some random guy, drive the Ferrari to Brooklyn and give it back to that guy. Wait. You could say, I can take it back. I realize the guy doesn't trust you. You're a young driver. He doesn't want you driving his Ferrari. Why can't he take it back? He could. Says Gemara, because we're talking about a special case, or the Mishaleach, the guy that owes the Ferrari, is a liar. If he's a liar, the story, we said the story when was joke number 137, Avi. You here? You ready? The guy says, that drill that you lent me, that I lent you, you returned it all broken. So the guy says, first of all, I never borrowed a drill from you. Second of all, when I returned the drill to you, I returned it in perfect condition. And third of all, the drill that you gave me was completely broken when you gave it to me. Okay, so this guy is a shakrin, a kafrin, and the guy lending the drill doesn't want to have anything to do with him. So that's what happened over here. The owner of the car realizes that this guy is mamish, from those guys. So he says, well, there's a young driver driving the Ferrari back. Gewaldig, just get it out of that, the guy I lent it to. The guy's a liar. I don't want to have anything to do with him. So we know that he wants that guy to drive it, and therefore, we're not taking it back. He can't take it back. Rav Shesha says the Gemara, Havale asharta the sarbali b'mechayza. He had, maybe it's a consignment, yeah? Like, I give you a coat. I don't know if people are going to like that style or not. I give it to you. If you sell it, we split the profits. If you don't sell it, give it back to me, whatever. So says Rashi, I thought it's very interesting. Sarbale, says Rashi, look inside. What does it say in the Rashi? Sarbale, coat, Bilaz. Okay, it's coat. Some sort of coat, cloak, whatever you want to call it. So basically, somebody owed him money in Mechayza. I'll just show you real quickly if you want to see. Here's the beautiful map that Yoshi did. And you can see Mechayza is like in the center of Bavel over there. Under Baghdad, Pumnahara, and Tapasura. You can see where it is in relation to Narda. Great. You're going there. I heard you traveling to Mechayza. Please go pick up my coat, my money. So he went there, he knocked on the door, they gave it to him. And then they told him, Amri le, nikni minach, I want you to do a kinyan chalipin, that's it. I gave it to you, Rav Yosef, now it's your responsibility. You take care of it. Amr Lu'in, he said, no problem. Just one thing, I have to go to the bathroom. So he goes to the bathroom, and he opens up the window, jumps out the window, and ran back home. L'soif ishtamet luhu. He said, I'm gonna take responsibility and I'm gonna sign the documents, but he got out of there quickly. When he went back to Rav Shesha, Samar le Shapira Vato. You did a great thing that you ran away. When you borrow money from somebody, you become his slave. Why would you want to become their slave? They owe it to me. Let them take responsibility. Why do you have to take responsibility on something that exactly how he did it is what's it called when you trick somebody? No, how do you, when you're not allowed to trick someone, you're not allowed to do a Gneves das. Thank you, Gneves das. Gneves das. Why is it not Gneves das? I don't know exactly. Maybe you're allowed to say Mishat ani bach, whatever the halachas are over. Okay. Lishna achrina, something very similar happened. Shapira Vata says, Rav Sheshes, Eved loyve lishmalva. Let them be the Eved. Let them be the slave that owe me. Okay. Rather than him saying to Rav Yosef, you shouldn't be a slave, he said, they should be the slave. Ravacha Rabbi Yoshi Havale Ispika the Kaspa ben Arda. So here in the map you see Arda, great. Somebody owed him some expensive kli made out of silver. This is a great story. When I read the story to him, maybe I was tired. I was just laughing out loud to myself. It was Gishmaka's story. It's sponsored by the Friedman family for our sisters, נחama Leo, Bas, Pנחas, Eliעזר, Chanet El Bas, Yibel Chaim, Pנחas, Eliעזer. Tomorrow. They're working on it. So he tells two people, Reb Dustoy and Reb Yosi. When you're going to go over there to Narda, pick it up from me, this kli. Also, Yavin Ale. He went there. The two of them went, and they gave him the kli. Amri lahu nikni minaychu. Okay, but we gave you this golden koshel elio, whatever, beautiful silver kli, but we want you to take the responsibility from here on out. Amri lahu loy. So they both said, absolutely not. It's your responsibility, you take responsibility. Amri lahu adjun alon. So those guys said, if so, give us back the cup. Reb Dustoy, Reb Yana, Yomar Luin. So Reb Dustoy said, sure, I'll give it back. Reb Yosi bar Kippur Amalu Loy. Reb Yosi says, no way. Says the Gemara, Avakam and Tzarele. They started beating him up because they didn't want to give it back. Amrile, and then as they're beating him up, punching him in the face, they say to Reb Dustoy, Chazim Marechika Ovid. Look at this guy. Look, he's not listening to us. Amar Lo. So Reb Dustoy says, Tav Ramulel. Beat him up more. So two friends, two chashuv Tamid Chachamim, they're trying to do a favor to Reb Achai Bereb Yoshia, and one of them is getting punched in the face, and the other one says to the punchers, keep on punching him, Gishmak, it's good, he deserves it.
Probably his wife.
Kiyas Ligabei. They come back to Reb Achai. Omalei, he was very upset. Chazimar. Not only did Reb Dustoy not help me out, and he said to them, beat him up even more. So this is the biggest side in life. Sometimes you hear a story, it sounds terrible. But let me hear your side of the story. No, what do you have to say? Doesn't seem right what happened there. Those people that beat him up, they're huge. And their hats are 2 feet tall. Check this out. This is Yoshi's picture, maybe with a little volume here. This is not them, obviously. This is just the shliach, but just to show you the size of these guys.
I'm serious. Literally. I'm not giving it back. Indeed. My name is Bedish, and I will break your bones.
I'll break your bones. Okay, so the bottom line is that this tall guy was speaking from his midsection, says the Gemara. Here it is. Hey Nama. They're like Amma taller than everybody else. 2 feet taller. And they speak like this bass voice, very deep. And their names are scary. Ardo, Varta, scary. Upile, an elephant. Phil, let's call him Phil. And I call this guy Berish. Berish, mamish, scary names. Phil and Berish. No, seriously, the names show who calls a kid an elephant. Because the guy's an elephant. He's 10 feet tall, he's huge, he's massive. Arda is like a aroid, like a dangerous donkey. Kids, they have names of animals, they're animals. Oimrim Kfaisu, they say, tie him up, kaifsim, and they just tie him up. Oimrim Haroigu, Haroigin, they're killers. Now he says, Ila Hargu is the stoy. What if they killed me, the stoy? Minasan Liyane Abba Bar Kamoisi. His name was the stoy Bar Yane. So who would give my father a replacement? I'm a great Talmud Chacham. If they kill me, it's all over. But what's going on there? Are they close to the kingdom? They're close. They have cars. They'll chase us. For one moment, he thought that Rabbi Dustoy is crazy. How could he say to those guys, hit him more? It turns out he said hit him more because he just wanted them to not kill them. So to calm them down. You know what? Hit him a little bit more. He deserves it. And let's get out of here. Fine. Now, we are jumping sugyas now. We're starting a new sugya. We just discussed a pekada. Now we're going to talk about a milva alone. He says to the guy, here's the case, go give the mana to so-and-so. And he went there, here it is. He goes there, and before he gets there, the guy goes bye-bye. So what's the halacha? Take this. So again, is hoylech kischi or hoylech not kischi? I'm telling my messenger, take this. Were you koine for that guy or not koine? Now the guy's dead. So if the guy's dead, what should you do? Give it to the kids. Tani chada yachzur mishaleach. So one pshat is it goes back. Here you see it on the chart. Boom, it goes back. V'tani idach, and the other one says no. It should go to the Yerush. Yeah, here it goes. Boom to the Yerush. Tani idach liYarshim yishenishtarchuloi to the Yerushim. Shleima, but maybe this machlokes the marsav hoylech kischi or marsav hoylech lav kischi. The Ma'adah says that when I say hoylech, it's like I gave it to the receiver. So even if the receiver dies, it should go to the Yarshim. And the other one says no. When I say hoylech, the guy died, so you can't fulfill anything. You can't fulfill anyways what I wanted you to fulfill. Return it to me. Everybody agrees that it's not. Right? Ha bebari. And this also, this is how we pass it, I think. In such a case. Ha bebari, when the mishaleach is healthy, ha b'shchimera. When the mishaleach, the guy giving, is a shchimera, so we know. Divrei shchimera kichsuvin kumsurim dami. And therefore, his words mean everything. And the guy is dying. He said, "Give it to the mikabel, to the guy on the left." You give it to the guy on the left. We're talking about no. We're saying no. We're saying I don't think. We're saying it is because we're saying that according to. Hold on. Omer Baba, the kulama hoylech lav kischi. Lav kischi. Okay. You sure? This is like 3 days in a row already. Rosh Chodesh, you're not going to be allowed here anymore. So he's saying that in a shchimra we say hoylech kischi. Okay. It sounds literally like something I said to my chavrusa yesterday, and he argued, fine. We're not going to go there. No, sorry, did I skip? Rav Zvid Omar, the Mishaleach is dying. It goes to the Yarshim because the other guy, the receiver, was alive when the shliach received the money. But when the receiver, the shliach received the money, the receiver all the way on the left was already dead, then it doesn't go to the yarsha. Another pshat. Again, the mishaleach. One pshat is the mishaleach is dying. The other one is no, he's very healthy. The miss. When do we say that it goes back to the mishaleach? The miss mikabel b'chayin oisen. You can't fulfill what he wants because the receiver is already dead while the giver is alive. The miss noisen b'chayin mikabel. But if the giver, the guy on the right, died first, then you do give. Why? Because now we have the new idea of mitzvah lekayim divrei hameis. We should really see Rashi inside. Rashi says the mitzvah is smack in the middle of the Amud. The guy is still alive. Hilkach mishas misas noisen. When the guy gave it, the guy on the right, the noisen gives it. The receiver acquires it immediately. Mishum the mitzvah l'kayin divrei hameis says Rashi v'afilu hayabar. Says Rashi b'chiddush. Mitzvah l'kayin divrei hameis creates an acquiring, whatever you want to call it. He acquires it based on mitzvah l'kayin divrei hameis on the spot. Not that we have to fulfill what he says, but he actually acquired it, says Rashi. Very big chiddush. Okay. Now, do we have a few minutes here? I think we have to do this. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time. We have to do it because we started late. So now we're just going to say it's not a big deal. It's just 6 shitas, and they're very, very easy to understand. We have a nice chart here. This Anya, maybe there's a machlokes whether hoylech is kischi. This Anya, hoylech mana leploini, v'holach hu bikshoy v'lemetzoi. I want you to bring this money to so and so, and you went to look for him and you couldn't find him. In other words, he was dead. Yachzur l'mishaleach. So what does this mandomer hold? Hoylech lav kischi. It's not that you acquire it. I want you to bring it to someone, but you don't acquire it. And therefore, you return it to sender. Return to sender. Okay, now that's the Tanakama. We're not going to discuss him anymore. Because he's only talking about the case that the receiver died. Now we're talking about a different case. Meis Mishaleach. So again, we have a man Omer that holds Hoylech Lav Kischi. Now Meis Mishaleach, check this out. Hold on, let me just skip all the way to the other one. Let's do it very quick. By the way, I apologize because this is Yoshi did a little, he just gave me like raw format and I put it together, but I didn't know how to do the animation going to the right. Baruch Hashem, there's only one going to the right. But there's some that go both ways. If you look at this real quickly, look how easy this is. There's 5 sheetas here. One sheet that says that it goes to the Mishalech. You see how he went backwards? It goes to the Mishalech. When, again, the Mikabel dies, it goes to the Mishalech. The next Mandomer says it goes to the Mikabel. Rabbi Yehuda says that it goes to the Mikabel. Chachamim say Yachloiku, it goes to both. And V'kan Amru, it's a Shita in Bavel, they say Shuda the Daina. Shuda means do whatever you want. Either way. So I didn't put anything in there. So you have Chachamim say 50-50. You have one Manda Omar. Reb Nazar Yaakov said that goes to the Mishalech, goes back. And 2 Manda Omrim that say it goes to the Mishalech. But what's the reason? So if you look over here on this chart, there's only 2 that have a red loy. 2 say Hoylech Lav Kischi. And we also have the Tanakama we said a second ago, Hoylech Lav Kischi. So we have 3 that say Hoylech Lav Kischi, and we have over here the Yeshram that say Hoylech Kischi. And Chacham say we don't know if Hoylech Kischi or not Kischi. So anyways, the bottom line is we have a machlokes. Is Hoylech Kischi or Hoylech not Kischi? Yeah? Is it okay? Rabbi say something? I think it's very simple. Just a lot of shitas. So Reb Nosson, Reb Yaakov Amru, Yachzul Yoshim Shaleach. You see the top one. Why? Because Hoylech Lav Kischi. And there's no mitzvah to be Mekayim Divrei HaMeis, return to sender. And the Yesharim says, no, give it to the Mekabel. Why? Because Hoylech Kischi. Once I said give it. So here we have a Machlokes already. And we could stop over here. Okay, what exactly it means, the Gemara will explain. I don't know what the halach is. Is it mitzvah l'kayim derei meis or not? And I don't know if it's hoylech kischi or not. Rashi says I had a something in both. 50-50. V'kan amru, in Bavel they said, it's better to figure it out according to Rashi. Let's just let the dayan figure it out logically. According to Taisus, all b'shas, they have the same machlokes. Should the dayan could just pick out of a hat? According to Rashi, no. He has to figure out misvara. Because it's better to make sure that it's going 100% to the real guy than to do 50-50. Because when you do 50-50, one of them is 100% going to lose 50%. I mamish had the story. I was a shliach. It should go back like Reb Nosson and Reb Yaakov. It should go back to the guy. Let's just do the svaras here, which we already did. What's machlokes? Tanakama savar. That was already when the Mishalech dies, he holds Hoylech Lav Kischi. That's why he goes back to the Mishalech. Reb Nosson Reb Yaakov Nami, Hoylech Lav Kischi, as you see over here, Hoylech Lav Kischi, and there's no mitzvah l'kayim derei meis. That's why it goes back to the sender. Ba'avagav the miss, no mitzvah. That it goes to the yarshim of the receiver, it goes to the left, Hoylech Kischi, because once he says, take this to so-and-so, it's as if he acquired it from so-and-so. At the end of the day, when I tell my messenger to take it, I don't mean that he should acquire it. There's a mitzvah l'kayim derei meis. That's why it goes to the receiver. The Chacham said no, split it 50-50. I don't know if hoylech kischi or not kischi, and I don't know if mitzvah l'kayim derei meis or not mitzvah l'kayim derei meis. And in Bavel they said shuda adif. Reb Shimon Anasi, it was Shuda again, that the dayan decides which way he wants to go. Reb Shimon Anasi, Maisa Asalashminon. End of story. We'll stop right over here. Rabbi Say, have a wonderful day.